Hey Taurus, before we get into the cards, we're going to do the butterfly spread, but just some of the energy that's coming through for today's reading. Like, there's a major resistance to whatever this is. I overslept, and I can just feel like it's like this trying to push it away. Don't want to look at that. Don't want to look at that. You know, that feeling of, no, can I just ignore that for a little bit longer? And that's what's coming through. I don't know what'll come through in the cards, but this is the energy, like, trying to get to the cards. You may, when we start pulling the cards and we get the message that's coming through for today, be like, no, this isn't what I clicked on this video to see. Because there is, like, whatever may come out, it's like this instant repulsion to say, no, I don't want to look at that. And I mean, for like in that context, use your own judgment, because if it's a sensitive subject for you that you aren't in a place where you're comfortable looking at it, then absolutely click out of this video in an instant before you're triggered for anything. That is totally okay. If you're not in a healthy place to look at anything that comes out in a reading, click off the video immediately and never trigger yourself with stuff. That's for just some of you, a very small percentage. Mostly this is what I'm feeling is like, it's not a triggering issue. It's just like, it's a nuisance thing that you really, I'd rather not have to deal with that right now. Why do we have to look at that? That's kind of more the energy, but let's get into the cards. It is a butterfly spread. It's a variant of the past, present, and future. However, it's an empowerment spread, which means instead of predicting the future, what you'll be able to get from it is kind of like what's going on here right now in the present tense, some of the things that have influenced you to put you into this position or are influencing how you can get out of this position. And then we'll also look at possibilities of how you can move through the future, like, you know, perceptions, actions, and perspectives that will help you, because the idea is for you to always be able to have the power to create your outcome rather than the cards tell you this is what's going to happen, you're stuck in this fate, there's nothing you can do about it. That's not my kind of reading. There are some things set in stone. You will probably already know about them. You won't need me for those. But with the butterfly spread, we get to empower you to decide what you're going to, if you want to call it, manifest, and whether or not, you know, you get to be the creator of your life, and you're co-creating with spirit, of course. We have the star. I am using, by the way, I'll show it to you. I'm using this deck. I have no idea. It's like tomorrow's Halloween, so I wanted to, and then this is Christmas. I am actually decorating my house for Christmas. Okay, this, for some reason, this may matter to some of you. I am currently decorating my house for Christmas, and tomorrow is Halloween. For some of you, that mishmash of time is just sort of like, it's a metaphor for something you're doing strange with time. Oh, we have a card underneath there. What's hiding underneath there? The moon. You have the star and the moon. Okay, there is, I think this is just kind of confirming what we're talking about. There is a certain part of healing that is being put into kind of that shadow space, and it's like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to fix that. I know there's like repairs that need to be done there. Can I just tuck it away and ignore it for a while longer? Okay, so that is, you know, the cocoon. That's what's in the cocoon today. Do these readings daily if I have the energy to do them. Today I'm cutting it close because I massively slept in and I have to move on with things to do. Let's see some of the, okay, I'm like, here we go. I know which card I want. The thing I don't like about this deck is I haven't used it enough and the cards stick. Okay, oddly enough, these are kind of hindrances, things that have been difficult challenges in the past that could potentially still hold you back. That's what's going to be here. Up top here, we're going to be putting things that are actually your strengths. It's funny that these are your strengths up top here, but your strength is coming out down in this hindrance process. And what I see is like there's a lot of weight. And why don't you take a look? It's like here's strength. It's like strength is not happy here, whatever this creature is from the night before Christmas. And this axe in the head, like it's like there's something faulty in the thought process of carrying this. If you can see this rope that's over this creature's shoulder, and just look how it's like almost in zombie mode. I'm just gonna freaking carry this thing. I'm not gonna let it go. So this, whatever this is, it has been around a long time. You know, it may be months that you've been doing it, that you've been feeling like almost in a trance. Just leave it there. I'll get to it later. What else can we clarify on that here, please? And the Ace of Presents in reverse. And this is the equivalent of the Ace of Coins. We'll put it up. And look at that smile. Look at that smile. You know, whatever this zombie mode thing is, it's been neglecting that, like, yes, there is like this smile that you could have, this joyfulness. It's, and see how light, and he's like up, kind of floating, not floating, someone's holding him up, of course, but that sense of being, I mean, look at the contrast between these two. But this came out in the reverse. And it feels like this is like messaging the way the rope is pulled. It's like you're pulling something along. And I'll get a clarifier to see. It's like you're pulling something along that's just keeping this sad. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here in reverse? I really want to know. This card, if you can see, we're looking at this one. This one's the one that seems to want to come out. And we have the Five of Coins in reverse. It's the Five of, or I'm sorry, the Ten of, okay, the Ten of Presents in reverse, which is the Ten of Pentacles, which came out in reverse. Okay, something didn't work out before. You really don't want to face something that, for most of you, that's what this is going to be. Take it as it resonates. Use your own intuition. Like, you can see into these cards. That's why I'm trying to like shove these cards in your face here through the camera, right? You know, what I'm seeing is, it's a beautiful picture. It's a visual thing. And sometimes I can't find the words, but if you're sparked by visuals and a creative person, you can almost see, here's the rope. This is what he's carrying. You know, all of this was going to be happy, you know, this great, you know, great experience, this one thing. And this being an Ace of Presents, the Ace of Pentacles, it was one thing. We're not talking about a multitude of situations. We're not talking about a whole bunch of stuff. It was like one, you know, like business endeavor, one person, one relationship, one thing that was going to be this great, fantastic thing. And that one thing just turned to crap, basically. And you're just kind of like in zombie mode after it. And not to say this has to be a relationship, but it's just sometimes when things fall apart, you just sort of go, okay, I'm just going to like sleepwalk from here and drudge through the day by day. So that's part of when we're talking about the healing is in the shadows. It just, I think this is a very good confirmation of that. Okay, but we're going to look up here. We're going to look at the positive things you've been doing, the helpful things you've been doing, the good choices you've been making that have been serving your higher good, that you can tap into to utilize to kind of get past whatever this is here. Okay, so there's like a hesitation that's coming in. I also got a notification on my phone. Updating legal terms. Do you ever get those on your phone? It's like, we have new legal terms. I feel like, which of these do you want me to take, guides? I know this one wants to. This one's pulling too. Okay, these two are pulling. And this one, okay, that other card. Okay. Excuse me. Bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So, all right, so this, that may play into things or not. All right, bunch of stuff in reverse. Why? What's going on here? The Queen of Candles, which is the Queen of Wands, the High Priestess. And do you hear Julia? That is Julia. Hold on a second. I have to put these down and help her up here. Okay, Julia, come on up. Can you get up? I'm going to pause this. I got to go pick her up. She doesn't always jump. Okay, sorry, there was a little bit of a pause there. I got my little pup up here. And when I went to go pick her up, I heard you had the cards upside down. So they all came out in reverse because for some reason I had the deck in reverse. So there is a little bit of a message in there that says, like, you've got this upside down. Just kind of like flip it away, flip it around, and then you'll notice it looks totally different. Like the meaning is completely different when you kind of like, you know, have a hangman moment, you know, and see the new perspective. So let's go and then take these in the upright position that they should be in. And what I'm seeing here with these, let me hold them up closer for you to view. And with the Queen of Candles, that's the Queen of Wands. And then we have the Two of Presents, the Two of Coins. And then we have the Six of Candles, which is the Six of Wands. And the thing is, you're capable. It's surprising that you're so hesitant to deal with this, and I feel like some of you are just too busy with so many other things. It's sort of like, and just the way, you know, my dog interrupted me. I got up to pick her up, and then she ran over to her food bowl, which realized that she ate some of her food, and then she has like a little truck. It's like this weird little dump truck that is a toy for kids, toddlers, and she likes her food in the dump truck so that she can roll it around and play with it. And it was just like this lengthy process of 5 different things that I did while this video was paused. And I feel like, you know, we're talking about like the queen energy here, and it doesn't matter your gender. It's just that, you know, energy of like being on top of everything, of knowing everyone's emotions, knowing everyone's, you know, the queen energy is aware of all elements of everyone. And you know how to balance that and walk away from with this Six of Candles. I mean, no, just, I'm thinking, I really am thinking of the Six of Swords or something. The Six of Candles is a victory. You know how to balance things and win. You know, this is a victory card right here. That's Six of Candles. Six of Wands. You know how to take your one passion, balance out everything in your chaotic life, and overcome and be victorious, while still keeping your one passion, your main passion, alive. You know, despite all of the distractions. And I mean, does this card not reek of ridiculous amount of distractions and absurd abstractions too? Distractions. Abstractions, that's an interesting slip. Okay, so what we're looking at in this positive, helpful thing, energy, why am I so tongue-tied? It's so funny. You know what, this thing that is being avoided down here, up here, what we're looking at is your strengths, basically. Your strengths, your capabilities, what works for you and helps your highest good. I mean, you have a history of being so immensely strong, and the strength card, I mean, if you look at this is strength. You are incredibly strong to be lugging this past thing around and not dealing with it and not healing from it, because it's a very heavy weight. And it's like, you're perfectly capable of, okay, balancing out all these stupid distractions, getting them out of your way so you can deal with this thing and move on and not have to be like using your strength to lug this thing and feel like you're in zombie mode. And of course, this the healing with the star being hidden in the moon, you can balance things out. You have that strength. It's up to you to do it. Like I said, like we went into this message saying like we're gonna look at stuff that you really don't want to look at, and whatever this is, it's something that like does not want to be dealt with. I get it. Like I totally get it. And by the way, I'm a Taurus, so I have to go back and watch this reading and learn from it too. Okay. Let's move along, because I have a personal dread here too as a Taurus. Okay, I'm gonna like just let me have a little bit more coffee. You're my first reading of the day. I do Taurus, Sagittarius, and Scorpio, which is I'm a Taurus. Born on a full moon, so my moon is Scorpio, and then I'm a Sag rising. So I want to say the word obnoxious person, and it's just coming out and blah, 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 blah. I feel like there's so much of that energy in this, and I'm just trying to drink some coffee, right? And here I go on a tangent. Balancing out those interruptions. And I just like thought of that, and I was like, you have no idea how many interruptions are going on in this household right now. Oh my God, my house is literally interrupting me with shit that's falling apart. So if you're in this, like I totally, like I send you my love. I send you a hug, and like I don't know. Some fuzzy slippers and some hot cocoa. Because like, oh my Lord. Okay, let's move on. This is moving forward, how we get out of this, what are some options, some ways. We're going to look at, some of the negative thinking that can hold you back. And then like, positive strengths that you have, positive thinking that can help you move forward, and just some of the outcomes, because you control the outcome. Okay, you have choices. You always have choices. And if you make a shitty choice, you can always change your mind, like you can pull the cards out upside down and go, wait a second, I was holding the deck upside down, so they're actually supposed to be the other way. You can change your mind, right? Some of you needed to hear that. Like, you can change your mind. It's okay. Wow. And looking at this part of the, like, where basically what we can do to deal with it. Let's look at the bottom here, like the, not so helpful for your growth. Let's look at those first. These two caught my eye. There's 3 of them here. And am I doing it again? Did I do it again? Yes, I did. The deck is upside down again. Okay. There's a very important message about changing your mind, or changing something. Something needs to be turned around the other way. Okay, that's very important. I mean, I grab cards upside down now and then, but not like completely repeatedly like that. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. Wheel of Fortune. We're going to hold these up for you to see. Oh my goodness. I'm giddy, and I got like a burst of energy, and I want to run around and just zoom out of here right now. There's a lot of blue in there, and I'm taking blue as kind of like a sadness, a melancholy, or a false happiness. You have the Wheel of Fortune here. That doesn't look like the greatest Wheel of Fortune you could possibly have. Like, that just like seems like setting yourself up to get hurt again. I mean, like, being on this, yeah, that's like, is that like the real Wheel of Fortune you want to turn? I don't know. That's just questionable. We do have the Lovers here, and they are under the moon. And it's being pointed out, like, here, one person is totally, I'm going to flip the card over this way so we focus on this card here. One person's, stitched back together. Like, they've gotten themselves all sewn back together, and they've tried to heal themselves up. And here they go with, like, another dead and whatever, relationship, another dead-end partnership, another dead-end hope for this is going to work out. Like, how many chances do you give somebody, really? How many times do you try something before you say, okay, this isn't for me, I keep getting hurt every time I do it? And it's, for some of you, this may be like somebody, I don't really do a lot of relationship, like partner relationship, romantic stuff. But for some of you, you might be like, okay, I'm kind of ignoring the texts and phone calls, but eventually I have to talk to this person and deal with it. And this is just like oh, am I going to like, spin the wheel of fortune, even though like there is just nothing left of me to give to this person. Now I'm trying to stitch myself up. I'm gonna like, and there's nothing left there. Okay. I don't know if my rambling made any sense, but okay. And then we have the Hierophant. It's like, I just see this like, hold on, what are you doing? You're going back? Are you really gonna go back there? So you have an option. You can go back to doing something, and this does not have to be a relationship. This could be a pattern, this can be a behavior, this could be, you know, like an environment, or, you know, just any number of things. Take it as it resonates. The Hierophant's sort of like, are you going back there? Because you're gonna, and I feel like this is like, you know, if you do this sort of like, okay, well, I'll just go back and face it with hopes. And I think some of the avoidance may be that you needed a time to think it over and sort of change your mind about, you know, figure out your mind about what you want to do about something. And that's okay. And, you know, you can, once you set your mind to something, obviously we're seeing over here that, you know, you can balance things out and balance yourself out and be victorious. But this, like, I mean, if we just take these two alone, does this really look like a successful picture? It just, I'm really feeling like that's not a successful picture. And I'm, in a sense, if you want the, like, another way to put this is if you want the Wheel of Fortune to never turn and you just want to, like, leave this skeleton in your closet hanging there so that it can't turn for a better day, that's up to you. All right, that's a message for some of you. But there is that Hierophant self. You have this higher self that's going to be like, hello, you're going to have to deal with this. This is so Taurus. It's not even a word. What am I saying today? Like, words that aren't words. We're going to check the deck. It is right side up. Okay? I am being playful with this. This is not a playful thing. And maybe there needs to be a sense of playfulness with that. But, you know, sometimes when we have to look at like ourselves and be like, you know, hey, you know, maybe I shouldn't be doing things like that, or maybe I need to change my mind. But we do have to have like a certain amount of laughter so that we don't beat ourselves up about stuff. We're all human. We're never going to get everything perfect. We're going to have to course correct and all that crap all the time. So let's look at some positive strengths about you, some positive ways, you know, ways of looking at the situation, handling the situation that may actually result in a better thing than you ended up yelling at yourself down the road. Okay. Oh my gosh, if you're still listening, then like, yeah. Okay. Like I said, I am a Taurus too. I totally, yeah, I'm feeling this one. And I was feeling this one before the cards came out. So you're not alone. And if you're still watching this far in, then apparently I'm not alone either. Okay, first card out. We have the Page of Needles. And there's a card underneath it. Oh boy. All right, somebody was hiding under. Oh my gosh, I saw these came out. When I peeked at the deck, this is so funny. There's no way I can prove this, right? When I peeked at the deck and I was like, okay, what's the message? You know, my guy's like, can you give me like just a starter message for the day? These were the two cards I looked at and they were stuck together before. And I didn't start your reading. I just was like, I got distracted and did other things. So here they come out, right? Okay, so the Page of Needles, which is the Page of Swords. And then we have the Four of Potions. And the Page of Needles, very interesting that it's like in the crowd of people here with this page. But I'm also looking at the potions, and you see the Four of Potions is really asking you to stop looking at the, you know, it's usually, you know, a person looking at 3 cups and they're ignoring, you know, this hand in the cloud giving them this other wonderful cup. And this is kind of the same thing. Like, I just like, you know, do you want to be with these people that like play games with the mask? And, you know, it's just, and it almost looks like you're in this like boat with these people. And it's like, do you want to anchor yourself into this group of you know, this one like fakes out, you know, and pretends to be this and that one just, I don't know, you have some options. Or do you choose to say, hey, you know, what's the best scenario for me? Who are the best people? Who treats me the right way? And do I need to keep giving my energy to annoying people who just drain me? Do I need to do that kind of stuff? So I think that that Page of Needles is, it's just, you know, that you're taking the sword and you're beginning to cut out we were talking about tons of distractions, the distractions. You know, really, I'm kind of getting that message, like, now you may not be able to face this thing yet that needs healing, that's still under the moon, but the first step in doing it is to really cut out these unnecessary distractions, these obnoxious, like, if we're looking at these are not like healthy distractions, and they're unnecessary. Now, some of you, if you're like me, like, you know, a lot of my distractions right now are actually things like stuff is breaking in my house and it needs to get fixed. So, you know, they're just distractions we can't do anything except for deal with when they happen, prioritize, and then there's distractions that we don't need in our lives and we can cut them out, okay? That could be like, you know, I watch too much the news. That's a distraction that I have to be careful not to do, especially this time of year. It's the end of October in America. Yeah. So, you know, like, we have certain things we can cut out of our lives. For everyone, it's going to be different what your little annoying distractions that are unnecessary. But I think you need, you know, if you create more of a calm space, a calmer life, where you're just like, okay, I know what priority things need to be taken care of, and those things have no priority, so they're out the door. You're going to be opening up space for this healing. And it doesn't mean that this has to happen immediately, but you don't have to keep dragging it around forever. You don't have to go back and repeat the cycle. And this could be something that has created distractions in the past and then make more distractions. You know, you don't have to do that, but this is very much, you know, one thing to consider is like, what can you cut out that is not serving your highest good? And I also heard who can you cut out too. But it's up to you to take that as you will. Like I said, this isn't an empowerment spread for you. It's not to tell you how things are going to work out. It's for you to be able to look at how you're going about things and decide, you know, what can you do to have a better outcome than the moment you're in, all right? So let's get another card for, excuse me, the strength and all. And by the way, like, these readings, I try to keep them about 16 minutes, and we're at 28 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay, and then we have the Nine of Needles. All right. Which is the Nine of Swords. And I'm just looking at, like, you know, that's also the stuff that gives you the anxiety and stuff. And I feel like, okay, I think it's a fair message. Let's not beat ourselves up for not wanting to face something. I am going to include myself in this. You know, if there's a certain amount of healing that wants to be done, you know, there is that. And we're looking on either side of this Four of Potions, which is the Four of Cups. We're deciding what people and things don't serve our highest good. You know, we can start cutting those out. And with the Nine of Needles, what worries? I'm gonna get a clarifier. I'm going to clarifier on that one. Some of the anxieties and fears, and we have to check and make sure. Here we go. Picked up the deck upside down again. Okay, there's something about that. There's something about picking something being the opposite of what it seems, or in reverse, or something like that. Can we get a clarifier, please, for this needle Nine of Wands? And the Four of Candles. Jeez, what a combination that is. Okay, that's the rest of the story. There has to be, if you eliminate, and this sounds so easy, it's like, for some of you, like the Four of Swords is the rest and relaxation, okay? And this rest and relaxation is coming when we're looking at, like, okay, what are we getting rid of? And some of that is the fears and anxieties, and I think that's what I'm being told right now. The reason the cards keep coming out in reverse is that some of this is our thinking. Some of it may be, for some of you, it's your thinking that needs to change. That's why, yeah, again, I have the deck upside down. So it's this, to me, with the deck upside down, is the thoughts being upside down. There's something in the thinking that you can see things in a different way. You can, when the thought comes out, and I'm going to randomly pull an example, and it may or may not mean anything to anyone. Don't worry about it, but it's just an example. When the thought comes out, it was like, oh crap, I didn't really get anything done today that I wanted to. And it's like, no, stop and look at your list of things that you did today and know that you tackled a gazillion things. And, maybe you just need to give yourself a little treat of, like, something healthy, of course. Just 15 minutes to yourself, or just enjoy how comfortable your pajamas are, or whatever. Just something small. But this part is, that's like, whatever this Nine of Swords, this anxiety, this keep you up at night thing is, this is the thing that you can turn around. There is a different way you can look at it. And I'm feeling like, some things you can't get rid of. We were talking about that. Like I can't change the fact that the house keeps having things break down and I need to fix them. But I can change my perspective on them and feel more in control over how I'm handling the situation. I don't have control of whether or not something's going to decide it's not going to work today. But I can have control over how I address that situation, if that makes any sense. That's kind of in your strength and what you can utilize so that you can have kind of a better outcome. All right. A closing oracle card for you. I know that was very long, very rambly. I pulled this deck earlier. I don't know, this doesn't even seem like it's the right deck for it. Like, we'll pull a couple of cards probably. Distant Horizons. And at the bottom, okay. So we have Distant Horizons. It's really interesting because look at this. This is one of the cards that we pulled, like your strength of, like, who are you going to let go of? And here's like this anchor, and you're anchored to, like, this, I don't know, circus of things. And then here you have the Distant Horizons card. And, the anchor's just, like, been let go of, and you're out there in this beautiful, you got the seagull there, and you're just, I think the reminder is just to, realize that you can lighten your load. And sometimes lightening your load means changing your perspective and realizing your power and control in a situation. And that immediately can lighten the emotional load of what's going on. Okay, do we need another card? I feel like we need another card for someone. Someone needs another card. Okay, where's that card? Was it this one? And thoughts. Yeah, and again, we have thoughts and pathway at the bottom too. I think this is a lot of reframing the situation. That's why I picked up the deck upside down so many times. We had to turn it around. And it's gonna be an effort to turn that around and say, instead of going, be like, okay, what is my control in this situation? What is my power in this situation? How do I got this? I got this. It's gonna take repetitive times to do that. And then if there's, other issues that, like, you've been wanting to deal with and get to, perhaps now isn't the time. Maybe you need to get the clutter and the clatter and the distractions under control first, so that you've got a nice, peaceful space to deal with whatever it is you're being strong and lugging around about something that didn't work out in the past. Like, you don't always have to, like, if you know, like, for those of you, you don't always have to stay in shadow work. You know, you don't have to stay there. Sometimes you need to get out of the shadow work and just deal with the stuff in the 3D world so that you can make a comfortable space for yourself. And I think that's the overall message. But a huge amount of your power right now is your perspective on things. And that's even just to look at stuff and not say, oh, that's a great thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a blessing in disguise. That's total bullshit. Like, I hate that, blessing in disguise. You know, like, that's really great that that happened. No, you don't have to be like, you know, you got a flat tire and you're like really thrilled about it. No, but you can look at it and say, you know, I have roadside assistance, my phone's charged, and I'm making a phone call. I've got control, you know, like, I'm not getting plowed down by everything. I know how to be this queen of, I know how to be the queen. I know how to balance things, and I know how to, you know, succeed, and keep that in mind when you're going forward. So hopefully that helps you. Like I said, usually I try to keep these things like 16 minutes long. We're at 36 minutes and 28 seconds, by the way, and I do these daily. Yeah, I'm like humoring myself by saying, like, if your day has gone like this, I don't know how you've got time to even watch this. Okay, so I do readings daily. We do the butterfly spread, and focuses on empowerment of you rather than predictions. And I did, yeah, so Taurus, whatever placement you have in your chart. And then I also do Sagittarius and Scorpio. So wherever those happen to be in your chart, you may find something in those. I do those every day if I have the energy for them. All right, take care. You're amazing. I can't believe you stayed this long through this one, especially with all this going on. All right, take care, and know that you have the strength to do things, and you don't have to let every little situation that evolves in life enter your internal emotional space if you don't want to. Just keep that in mind. And take care. All right, I'll talk to you and see you in another video. Bye-bye.